Hi, and we have come to a place called Staithes, which I may be pronouncing slightly incorrectly, but hopefully not. What's it famous for? Well, Captain Cook, who discovered Australia among other things. So let's have a look at Captain Cook's hometown. Staithes is in North Yorkshire, just near Brunswick Bay and not that far from Whitby. Well worth a little trip out, or is it? Well, let's take first things first. Is Staithes a place you should visit? Well, buckle up now because we're about to find out. This little village boasts stunning scenery, a rich history, and a famous explorer connection, and a harbour that's bustling with character. And as you look out, you can see that Staithes has some quite stunning views. As we look down the valley itself, you'll see there's a river just running down there. And it's one of those places where you just think, yeah, you could just sit and relax and watch the water go by. Alright now, enough admiring of the Yorkshire countryside, and I can't blame you. Let's head down now towards the harbour itself and walk through Staithes and see what it's actually got in store for us. And you can see here, that brown building there is actually a museum. Unfortunately, we arrived just as it was closing, so I hadn't had the opportunity to go and have a look in there, but there's a lot of rich history in Staithes, so I'd imagine it's a good place to visit. Oh, and if you're looking for some quirky shops, there's lots of neat little ones dotted around here. Speaking of history, Staithes has a very famous connection. Captain James Cook. I keep wanting to say Captain James T. Kirk, but never mind. Because Captain James Cook really was an explorer. A legendary one. He literally did boldly go when no one had gone before. He served his apprenticeship as a sailor right here in this very harbour. And we'll walk down to there in a minute. Captain Cook's history really is fascinating. Born in 1728, he started his work at the age of 16 as a shop assistant in a little village called Marton, not far away. Before I forget, there's a little alleyway there between that shop and the next building. Do go down there. Fantastic little view. As you can see, Layla's with me today, and she almost walked past it. Easy to miss. There's nothing better than a picture of boats in the river like that. To be honest, my mother is notorious of taking photos of boats either in rivers or stuck in mud. Every holiday we went on as a child would come back with photos of boats stuck in mud. But this is some view and a half, isn't it? As I say, missing that alleyway, you'd miss all this. Well worth that 2-second journey round the corner. Somewhere new to discover. One thing to have a look out for in Staithes is what's allegedly supposed to be the narrowest street in the world, at only 18 inches wide. called Dog Loop. I ought to add, we never found it on our walk round. Staithes is a great place just to wander around and experience the atmosphere. There are little cafes and pubs scattered around, shops to poke your nose into, great places to grab a bite to eat or a drink after walking around. Many of the signs reflect Captain Cook, whether it be the Endeavour pub or just some of the guest houses. With plenty of cobble streets and little shops and whatnot, it's well worth just spending that time walking down, as you'll notice so many of the places. Little guest houses, places you can visit, but there's one very special guest house which I'm going to come to later. Do you fancy some fudge? Looks as though it was a butcher's at some point, but they've obviously moved on to fudge now. And ever so often something a little bit more unusual, like a wooden bird. Well, here we are at the harbour where Captain Cook first learnt to sail. The harbour itself is quite small, but it's brimming with character. The fishing nets just at the side, the smell of the salty air, it really does trance you back to a time before modern day, when a place like this would be so secluded that a visit to the town would be known by everybody. And it's surrounded with these big cliffs, just protecting it a little bit from the wind. It is famous because of Captain Cook, and he lived a stone's throw away from the harbour itself. It's fair to say that Staithes honed Captain Cook's talents. Later, Captain Cook explored uncharted waters in the Pacific, becoming the first European to map places like New Zealand, Hawaii, and Eastern Australia. His discoveries revolutionised Europe's understanding of the globe itself. And here we are, just outside the house that Captain Cook lived in. Looks like any terrace street nowadays. But the interesting fact is, you can actually book yourself in there. Imagine being able to sleep for a few nights in the house that the man who discovered great parts of the world used to live in. Unique. So, what is Staithes like? Well, it's a harbour that Captain Cook learned to sail from. Apart from that, you've got places to eat, the odd thing to look at, but in essence, that's it. Half a day? Yeah, maybe so. Bite to eat and a drink? Maybe so. But would I make it a holiday destination? No. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our little trip. If you like these sort of videos, hit the subscribe button, and why not watch the next video? I'll see you on there. Bye for now.